trying to get us going live on YouTube. I'm trying to get us going live on YouTube. Come on, waiting on the computer.
Hi, please.
Y'all, I know after he cleaned his duck pond muddy paws off on my bed, he decides to lay down on the floor.
Yeah. It was more like he fucking up, like he was like, hello.
I'm already streaming.
Oh. That I didn't know.
So yes, my children speak exactly like I do, unfiltered. Do you have YouTube on your phone? Okay. Our channel's SpaceStationRequiem, and it should show that we're live. We're live on YouTube. Okay, and I have that muted. All right. I need to mute myself. This is going to be an interesting meeting because I couldn't figure out why I wasn't hearing anybody. It's because I had my volume turned off on my computer. Now I can hear people.
Right now it's just me and you.
Yeah, my son's going to be watching the YouTube channel for us to see if we have any commentary there. Mikey, Desiree, and Jan are all vending today in uniform.
Okay, I got one of my
all
strawberry
got beat up
on.
Well, I have my fake Captain Kirk shirt on. We actually found this on a clearance rack somewhere. And it looks like the 3rd season Captain Kirk.
Yeah, I had a t-shirt back when I was in high school. I got it. Oh wow, I like that one. It had Kirk and Spock on it, and I forget where I had gotten it from. And now I wish I would have kept it all through these years. But I threw it away. And then I had another one with Robert Redford on his hat, cowboy hat on it, and I threw that one away too. So.
Gosh. Oh. Okay. I'm sorry. The dogs were kind of growling in the background.
Oops.
Yeah.
Let them go outside. They can fight.
It's too hot outside. When we just got home.
I was sitting outside for a while here. It's windy too. It was windy yesterday, so.
Yeah, we went to lunch, and when we came back, it was already over 100 degrees.
Wow. But it starts here in Indiana. It started raining through the night. It just poured up until, I don't know, about 10, 11 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
And it finally, I stopped, and it's been sunshining since about noontime, I think, which is nice.
Yeah, we're the next 10 days. We actually have no rain in our forecast, which is the first time since Snowgeddon in February.
Wow, it's supposed to be partly sunny tomorrow, 50% chance of rain Monday. And then next week and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 40% chance of rain, but that can always change.
Yeah.
Which it does. Hey, I got a question for you.
Sure.
When we're on these Zoom meetings, how do I take a picture of Zoom, like who's on this?
If you're on your computer, you should have a function called snip. SNIP.
There's nothing.
It's like called the snipping tool. sometimes you have to search for it on your computer. I keep mine so that it is, come on, let me see if I can flip my screen here. It's gonna let me have it. No, it's not gonna let me have my screen here.
I've heard of that before, but I'm gonna have Mike help me with it, because I just thought about that with all the Zoom meetings we've had. So I may have to download it, maybe.
And it just basically, it's like a screen scrape of what's on your computer.
You got a couple
Right.
different things on here.
So I've been playing around with my technology because I've been bored. So we're up the level this month on the PowerPoint. Plus,
I'm always trying to learn new things, and I got promoted to first officer of Starbase 6, and I've been doing the SPAR 2 reports, and there's something that James Corey had showed me that I didn't know about. So like the bullets and everything. So that's well, you can put, I know how to put the bullets, but I'm talking about like right next to each other, and there's another way you can go in and put bullets in, but you have to do it one by one instead of like 3 or 4 at a time. So
yeah, it's for me, it's been a lot about relearning things, because when I have bad cognitive days with everything else, I'm lucky to remember my name. So yeah, we got a bunch of website work to do, and I used to code websites, and I can't remember any coding now. None whatsoever.
I mean, sounds like you got a lot going on, too much on your plate, you might say.
A lot of it's more health that's going on. So today we're gonna go ahead and get started on the meeting. It's 3 o'clock. I don't know if there's somebody ding dongs that should to come in, I should be able to see it. But today we're gonna go over about Space Station Requiem, because I know we've missed a couple months here or haven't been very good at it. And this is a public meeting one, so we always try to talk about what our space station is about, our club is about Guilds of Requiem, and about Starfleet Command, because we have a duality in allegiances, I guess is the way to say it, to organizations. Changes that we've made to our chapter charter, how promotion points work. We have open senior staff positions, and then we'll get to departmental reports. So right now I am the only senior staff officer on Space Station Requiem. Robert was having some personal challenges that I felt it was in best decision of the chapter for us to have a different XO. So one of the good things about us is that just because somebody isn't a Star Trek fan doesn't mean we're going to say, oh no, we don't want you because we're playing in Star Trek and only Star Trek. And if you're not Star Trek, well, yeah, colorful metaphor on that. But so we are based on the inclusivity, see if I can talk today, of all genres, all walks of people, and we recognize that everyone has the potential to do amazing things when they're in a supportive environment. We are unique in that we are our own universe and fandom. Obviously, if you try to follow canon Star Trek, there is no Space Station Requiem, there is no Draconis Rift, it's all things that we have made up so that we can incorporate logically in a story form why maybe Doctor Who shows up, or we're talking about somebody in the Marvel universe or the DC universe, whatever, or a horror, fantasy, whatever it is. It gives us the ability to be able to pretty much be all inclusive. So we have two recognized parent organizations. Our primary is Guilds of Requiem Incorporated. It's a Texas nonprofit corporation. And then, of course, Starfleet Command Quadrant Run. Quadrant 1. So about Guilds of Requiem, it's our primary parent organization that we operate as a department or a guild of. We are a nonprofit corporation in the state of Texas. Our focus is on networking, crafting, and preservation of knowledge. We do have 7 primary guilds, of which Space Station Requiem is managed by the Resources Guild. This is kind of what it looks like. If I had to make a hierarchy tree, we've got our president, our vice president, and our secretary. This is our 7 primary guilds: the Agrarian, Crafters, Guardians, Merchants Guild, Scholars Guild, Technicians, and Resources Guild. And then each of them have their own little kind of sub projects to them, things that we've already established, kind of relate to who does what jobs in the organization. So we are Star Trekking across the universe, only going forward because we can't find reverse. Starfleet Command is the oldest Star Trek fan club. As a matter of fact, Starfleet Command and I share the exact same birthday. So, you know, everyone knows exactly how old I am because I'm the same age as Starfleet Command. We like Starfleet Command Quadrant 1 because it allows for chapter autonomy. That means we don't have somebody over us, you know, regional, departmental, starbase wise or whatever, saying, no, this is how you're going to run your chapter. And this, you know, you can't do all these other fan clubs. You can't do, because it's not Star Trek. Now, Starfleet Command is one of the few organizations that I found that said, yes, you're doing something. This is great. The other thing that we like Starfleet Command is that it is a ready-made network of like-minded individuals. We originally started in 2013, took a little break from 2015 to 2019, but we still found that the culture of Starfleet Command was very much the same as when we started in 2013. We like that it has an academy. That's really great because it gives something for us to be able to give challenges to. It helps with giving an order to our chapter organization, which I'm going to break down here with our departments. And we come in peace, shoot to kill, shoot to quill. Oh, and it should be Jim, not men. Wow, I'm off on my lyric quotes here today. So Starfleet Chain of Command, I took this right out of our Articles of Federation. And so we are pretty much underneath the Starbase officers. Where is it at here? Bum, 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 bum. Chief Communication. Oh, Sarah, who do our Starbase commanders report to? I just had a really, right there it is. Deputy Fleet Commander, there it is. I just had a major brain cramp and I couldn't read anything on the screen.
I know, if the words are so small, you gotta like be up close to it.
Yeah, so recently we've, right now, our chapter charter is very organic in the fact that as we add new things, we find something that's not working, we go with a majority vote of the senior staff. Sorry, that's me. On making changes. So we're starting July 1st, we are going to have our own civilian and pet fleet on Space Station Requiem, which I'll go into more detail. We have updated the job descriptions for the executive officer duties to include the changes that Starfleet Command has made and that they need to pass phase 2. We have added that each department will have its own commanding officer, and it'll also have its own chief of a department. So that gives people opportunity that, you know, maybe they just don't want to do the enlisted route and they just want to, you know, they don't want to be an officer rank of anything. It gives them an opportunity to still have leadership roles. We did update our disciplinary measures because previously it just was a filler and a blank, and I'm not quite sure how all of us missed it that have been reviewing it, that there was nothing there. We also updated promotion point values to include new opportunities to earn rank. That's one of the biggest reasons that we keep our charter organic, is so that when somebody comes up to me and says, yo, Captain, I just did this today and I had my comm badge on and I talked about Starfleet Command and I talked about Space Station Requiem. What do I get for it? I can say, this is how many points we're getting. So going forward, anybody else who does this is going to get the same amount of promotion points.
So this is just for the space station?
This is all just Space Station Requiem.
Okay.
And people who are interested in the Starfleet Command, the AFED is available for download on the Starfleet Command website. But this is just how our chapter runs.
Okay.
So it helps other chapters maybe have I go over this every time because it helps other chapters understand that there are different ways in which they can run their chapter. This is just how we choose to run ours. So these are some of the things that you can do to get a promotion point. So promotion
as far as I can go with my ship, I'm a captain, so I can't go no further.
Well, I'm a fleet captain, so it's going to take somebody higher up to promote me to anything beyond that. So yeah, I'm pretty much as high as I can go. Promotion points, we use them as a means of tracking participation. And it helps us be able to visually look at a number to just say that, yes, this person has been participating and doing things, they deserve a promotion. And we only do promotions twice a year on our chapter. We will do submissions in June and December for promotions to be announced at the July and January meetings. We're doing that just because I found it to be really challenging to try to remember who was promoted when last. And this just makes it continuity. It gives consistency. So how do you earn promotion points? Like I said, we've got a list here. If you're getting ready to do community service and you tell me and send me a picture that you're doing it, then we can, figure out how much points are being earned. So what good are they? Well, when you get promoted, anybody who's coming in new to a chapter, if they see that, you're a recruit, that doesn't necessarily mean you don't know anything about how our chapter runs or how Starfleet Command operates. But that gives them a better indication that if they go to, say, our Senior Chief Petty Officer, or Master Chief Petty Officer, that gives them a better idea of, hey, this person has been at this a while, that they have earned rank and through promotion points. So I've got a question, and instead of bothering XYZ person or reaching out to the commanding officer all the time, I know that I can go to this person in that department and they're going to have a better idea of what's happening than somebody who is just a recruit or just an ensign. Which is why rank is important. It gives us a chain of command. This list is an organic list. It is updated whenever we are given an opportunity to have to determine how much promotion points something is worth. And as you can see here, we do have a few that are ranges because it's going to depend on the amount of effort that you're putting into it. When I was with the Joan of Arc and when we first started, we had this gentleman that we only knew as Klingon Robert. And he showed up to everything in full Klingon makeup.
That's cool.
And outfitting. He was so known for doing this that every time that we had something going on, that he walked up to me in the store one day and say, hey, Fleet Captain, how you doing? I had no clue who he was because he was not dressed as a Klingon. So
you have to make sure you see the real face instead of the makeup face.
Yeah. So, because he went through all that extra effort every single time, of course, I'm gonna give him more points because I know from my own experience that putting on Klingon makeup is very time consuming. And we're in South Texas. It is very hot at any time of the year to have, this giant latex headpiece and wig and, and he had the heavy material that he made out everything out of is just like, you know. But at the same token, if somebody's finances only, you know, they can only afford to do a little cutout comm badge because that's all their resources, I'm still going to give them credit for it because they're still putting forth the effort and they're still representing. And so, yes, we can nominate activities for points. That's a question that I'm always frequently asked is, you know, what can we nominate? What qualifies? What doesn't qualify? Once we have more senior staff, then it'll be go in front of the senior staff to say, yes, we'll accept this activity, or no, we won't. Where are they tracked? We have an Excel spreadsheet that is on Google Docs, and I am working towards getting them all tracked there versus my little notebook that tends to walk away. And then I have to rely on my memory, and that's not good. So there's Klingons on the starboard bow, starboard bow, starboard bow. There's Klingons on the starboard bow. Scrape them off, Jim. So we do have, like I mentioned, since we now have all of the all the departments listed, and we've determined that we're going to do with a 2-step command structure for each department. We do have several staff positions now open, 2 Starfleet command members. So why is senior staff important? I'm only one person. I believe on our Starfleet command roster, we have about 15 members. I have about an additional 50 members who are civilians that they're just here for the fun of it. That's a lot. Plus I run Guilds of Requiem, plus Haven of the Dragon, and everything else that's going on in my personal life. This is why senior staff is important. It gives somebody who is knowledgeable in what that department does kind of to be the liaison before everybody comes running to the commanding officer. And obviously, if there's something going wrong, I want to know. Current open positions, our executive officer position is open. You do have to take a departmental exam, phase 1 and phase 2 at Starfleet Academy. So if anybody is interested in any of these positions, you do need to join Starfleet Command because that helps us maintain our charter with them by having members. You have to wait 30 days to be able to take a Starfleet Academy course. So because of that, I am giving people time to get these completed under a 90-day probationary period before I say, okay, you know what? It looks like your life is a little bit too hectic, that you're not able to devote the time needed, even as a volunteer organization. So let's step back and talk about this. Each department will have a commanding officer, and they will also have a departmental chief. Meeting attendance or providing a departmental report monthly is mandatory. There may be something going on in your department that you haven't brought to my attention yet, or there's an event you want to look at for us to be there. You know, that's where we need this open communication from. We ask that you do post at least once a month in the public group and try to model the way of encouraging participation in our social activities is pretty much what that's about. We do ask that when and where you're able to, please participate. Obviously, we are in South Texas. If you have a health condition and it's 110 degrees outside in the shade, you may want to pass on that event. But there's other things that you can do to help promote that event for us. So we run on caffeine, cursing, and comedy, if you ever wonder. So what does a departmental report look like? That's kind of the biggest thing that I'm next asked when somebody's getting ready to look at the position. Hi, Cletus. So the first thing I kind of need to know is how many members are in your department. With us adding in the civilian and the pet fleet component, that's going to become even more important, along with helping recruit and retain members in Starfleet Command. Did anybody in your department take and pass a Starfleet Academy course? Has any one member stood out above the crowd in what they are doing? That helps us, just like Starfleet looks at our SPAR 1 report to know if, we're making a promotion recommendation, if they're not seeing that person's name there, they're going to be like, why are you trying to promote this person? So the same way is true with us. If you've got somebody who's standing out above and beyond the crowd, we do have annual awards, and several of those awards, we're going to pay for your membership renewal in December. So that makes it kind of a little bit extra incentive to stand out above the crowd. We ask that you recap any events that your department had for the last month. Tell us what events are happening this month, what events are happening in the future. And everybody's going to need details such as what and where is the event, how many volunteers are needed, and for what tasks. Pretty much standard information. And of course, we ask that you please do not introduce sugar into the warp core, as it can cause a breach. Departmental reports. I'm going to kind of show you how the structure, how it's going to break down every month as soon as we start having more senior staff. Of course, the meeting itself is always the command report. We're telling you exactly everything that we've done, but we're also tying operations into our command department, which is very like Star Trek itself and some other military organizations and paramilitary organizations. We're going to have our communications recap, engineering, and search and rescue. The reason we have put these together is engineering are our general crew who are local to the greater San Antonio area. Our search and rescue are our general crew members who are outside of the greater area. So of course, my sons live down in Corpus Christi. They're both in search and rescue. I believe we've got, I think Federico has joined us in a specific department, but since he's in Italy, then he would be, if he just wanted to be a member of the chapter, we'd put him in search and rescue. We put our Marines and security together because the two job descriptions are very, very much alike. And Marines is a path that you can take in Starfleet Command to add a little bit of extra fun to your experience. Medical and sciences, those are basically our community services and community outreach programs. Medical is going to be local to the greater San Antonio area. Sciences are going to be opportunities that can be done anywhere. And they'll also track, I believe Starfleet Command has like pop tabs and some other things that you can do as community service. Sciences would be the one who tracks that participation. And of course, never get between the commanding officer and her Ractigino. So command and operations. What does this department do? Basically, we keep the ship running. We track the promotion points. We make they're going to be the first line in saying, hey, I see this person has been doing a lot. I'd like to nominate them for this award. I want to nominate them for participation and ready for promotion. Maybe that department doesn't have a senior officer, a commanding officer. So that's going to be something that the operations department is going to help pick up on. The kind of help that I need in this department, I'll get to in just a moment. And then of course, how do I apply to be a commanding officer or chief of this department? It's easy. Email me, say I'm interested. So the operations department assists with maintaining the roster database. They work with the communications department on the social media posting, website management, and merchandise. We do have our own cafe press store that I am starting to get products into. So if you want to have our cool little comm badge onto your shirt, that's something we're looking forward to doing. According to our command structure, operations is the commanding officer of operations is going to be the third in command. So it goes commanding officers of the space station, executive officer of the space station, and then it's going to be the operations officer. Our communications report, this one is actually quite busy. We've been doing a lot the last couple of months. Hopefully everybody's seen our videos on the YouTube channel, but our biggest thing that we want to talk about is Rift Runners. This is our monthly e-zine that we're doing. So the one coming out in August is going to be our revival edition. What are we looking for? We do currently have a placeholder added to the website for this. We are seeking content through our July 17th meeting, and anybody in any chapter in any organization can submit content to the Rift Runners publication. Our sections that we're going to have is Space Station Requiem News, Guilds of Requiem News, Starfleet Command Quadrant 1 news, Fandomverse news. This is anything that's happening in the fan world, like, you know, the new Loki has come out. A recap of that would be on there. Maybe you've got an editorial commentary that you want to make about the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I believe so.
Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Maybe there was something in there that really, you know, made you sit down and think. With it being Juneteenth, I think it is a very, very awesome thing that they decided to make the Falcon into the new Captain America. That just was like, yeah. We are going to have a section for fan fiction, and this is going to be Space Station Requiem members content created, generated there. But we're also going to have a section for everyone else. And we're going to ask that if you are submitting an article for people to look at or review, that you summarize the article and give a link to it. If you are submitting a meme that is very relevant, but you found it on the internet from a specific place on the internet, or maybe you decided that you want to talk about the different species in Star Trek, give us your reference sources. And all submissions should be emailed to SpaceStationRequiem@guildsofrequiem.com. We have a new vanity email address. That was really awesome when we updated our website, that we have 2 email accounts now that are at Guilds of Requiem. So website updates. Wow, that was way off. So who has seen the new additions to the website? I don't think anyone. Yeah, I don't think very many of our members have actually been on here, but that is our direct URL. It's guildsofrequiem.com/SpaceStationRequiem, all put together. There's no more dashes, hyphens, capitalizations, little, you know, it's just guildsofrequiem.com/SpaceStationRequiem. And that takes you to the section just for Space Station Requiem. It does have links to the rest of the website, but we've been working on the format really hard lately. Let me see if I have it open somewhere. I think I might. Always so nice when I spell our own organization's name right. So we have up here that is the basic website, a promotional video, a link to Starfleet Command Quadrant 1, and then as soon as our LCAR decides to do up, we've added about, event, Rift Runners Pet Fleet, and a members only section. So it is still a work in progress. We do have a few things that we're trying to work the bugs out, and I kind of did the I don't want to say the poor man's version of of an LCARS, but it's pretty darn close. I did the only workaround that I knew how. Okay, come on. So website updates is open to anyone who would like to assist. If you are not familiar with Wix, we will gladly teach you Wix. Oh, come on. And it didn't come back. Wix now has a plugin that if you know how to code, you can just drop it into Wix. So I was very excited to see that. Engineering, search and rescue. These are basically our recruiting and retainment departments. A lot of our general membership is in there, but we're asking that our engineering department and search and rescue assist with recruiting along with any event activities that we may have that's physical. So the biggest thing that I touched on earlier is that we will be having civilians and our own pet fleet on Space Station Requiem beginning July the 1st. And of course, there's Wicket Cannoli. And he just popped his head up behind me. So what is it about? This civilian memberships are open to anyone without regard to any other fan club affiliation. So someone from the 501st that maybe lives down the highway from me, that I didn't even know existed, and he didn't even know we existed. And then we found each other, but they don't want to have a full membership somewhere else. This is an option for them. Starfleet Quadrant 1 members are able to join just for the benefit of Pet Fleet. We're not going to make you pay our local membership fee. And of course, membership is all honorary, and whether you choose to or not to. I'm not going to say, no, you can't be involved in our activities unless you join my club. I don't run like that. Membership fees just help us, give us the finances we needed to keep our website running, to provide activities, eventually be able to start having paid positions in our organization. So the really cool thing about members have an opportunity for one or more of their pets to be immortalized, I think I used that right, in our continuing storyline. So say you just lost your best friend of the last 7 years, friends on 4 legs, and you really just want to say, what can I do that's interesting? Well, we're going to be dropping this into our public group, and it takes you to the form for joining. We'll help you, we can either use their name, we can use a variation of that name. We help you pick out their persona. We help you pick out their species, their race. You tell us a little bit about your favorite pet. What made that pet so special? Did they have any quirks? Like Cletus, I can tell you right now, we're going to be working in that he is clueless, that Bubba, calling him Bubba, it's not always being nice. And also that he loves to give people potatoes. Not quite sure how I'm going to work that in, but it's going to get worked in there somehow. So proceeds from this project are used as funding for Space Station Requiem and for the Service Dog Handlers Guild of Requiem. So that group is anybody who has a working dog, specifically service dogs, but we also will take TSA dogs, canine, military dogs, any working dog into that group, and we become a support network with training tips. Now, if you have an emotional support pet, emotional support dog, we will help, as our group, we can help you with the training of them. But we're going to be following the laws for the safety of our investments. I sat down the other day. We've had Cletus for 1 year. I just added up everything that we spent on him. It's already over $25,000. So a lot of people have a lot of money invested into their service dogs and their working dogs that we're probably going to say, unless you can prove to us that your emotional support dog is very well behaved in group settings of other dogs, we're probably going to ask you to leave them home. So participation in persona creation is at the discretion of the civilian member. So if somebody comes to me and says, I'm a part of the 501st, I want to join Space Station Requiem as a civilian member, but I'm not quite sure about having my name forever attached in a story somewhere. That's fine, that's no problem. You're still helping support a really good cause in the community of Mandera. So the other thing that we're doing is Space Station Requiem Starfleet Academy monthly challenges. I think a lot of people have seen that in the public groups. We had no winner in the month of May. Now, each of these challenges start from the first of the month and go to the end of the month. And the goal is to take more courses based on a specific topic than myself and to have a higher overall score. So if you end up taking 5 courses and you only get 70s on all 5 courses, well, then your overall score is 70. You take 5 courses, you get 5 100s, then your overall score is 100. It's an average. Each month, we're going to have offer up a $25 gift certificate to the website, and we will continue to add $25 each month to it. So there was no winner in May. The month of June now is $50 to the Space Station Requiem website, to the Guilds of Requiem website. If we have no winner this month, then July will have $75. All participants who submit their scores to us, which is the Space Station Requiem at guildsofrequiem.com email address, will be entered into a drawing for our December meeting in which we will pay for your Starfleet Command Quadrant 1 renewal. That's our way to help encourage participation. Only courses that are registered for and graded during that month will be counted. If you send me an email on the 30th of the month saying, hey, I just submitted this score, I know that the step challenges, some of them are taking 5 to 10 days to get the results back. I'm probably not going to count that one towards your total because we got to have your official score from Starfleet. You do need to have a Starfleet Command Quadrant 1 membership for at least 30 days before you can take Academy courses. And there is a hot link to where to find out more information about the Academy. Check with your commanding officer of your chapter to see if there are promotion points available on your chapter for completing Academy courses. I know that is something that a lot of chapters do to encourage participation and involvement with their chapter is, hey, if you take a Starfleet course, we're going to give you credit for it. Take a Starfleet course, Academy course, and you pass it with 100%, we're going to give you even more credit for it because we want to acknowledge. So, but each person is responsible for submitting their scores to SpaceStationRequiem at guildsofrequiem.com. Not your commanding officer, not Starfleet Academy. Once Starfleet Academy sends you your scores, you can forward that to us, and then we will, we'll help track it. But you, because of privacy and everything else, you are responsible for submitting your scores to us. Now, if you ask your CO and you say, hey, I'm not really technology savvy, your chapter CO can submit on your behalf with your permission. So that will require an email to us saying, hey, I give my chapter CO permission to submit my scores for me because I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, or I have a disability, or, let us know why somebody would be submitting on your behalf. So what are our upcoming STEP challenges? And I believe that Star Trek episodes is what STEP stands for. June, that's the month that we're in. There's only 3 tests for the Enterprise Challenge. I bombed the first one. I did pass it. It was with a 70, but I probably could have done better if I, actually paid attention to the episodes I was watching for the answer. July will be the original series. So that's 3 seasons worth of episodes and Academy courses. August will be Deep Space Nine. September is going to be Voyager. October, we will allow you to either take animated series STEP courses or next generation STEP courses. November, we originally were just going to say Discovery, but there's a lot of people like me who don't have access to watching Discovery until it's showing free somewhere. Same way with Picard. I don't think there's any Picard courses, but until it shows up on Pluto TV, then I have no way of watching it, and I don't have the funds myself to go get another streaming membership that's going to charge me every month. So we're allowing the opportunity for you also to take Next Gen because all of those are free on several streaming services that you may already pay for. Marines and Security. Marines and Security are both kind of our event coordinators, volunteer coordinators. They scout out locations for us to have activities. The biggest thing is our upcoming event is BantuckyCon. What is BantuckyCon? Well, we did a UFO mini-con last year, and a lot of people were like, we felt that was very limiting that you just made it UFO. Okay, that's fine. Well, this year we're going to hold it in the last week of October versus the last week of August, in which it was 120 degrees in the shade. We're not going to do that anymore. The fun of it was it being outside, but that was also the worst part of it. We do encourage other chapters in Starfleet Command Quadrant 1 and other fandoms to participate in the event. But the biggest thing is this was a combination of our UFO Minicon and our end of summer school challenge, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So we call it our steampunk activities. And they must be family friendly. That's a big one. We got a lot of people. We got a lot of families out here in Bandera. There's always people trying to look for what's family friendly to do. So the next big question I've been asked is, how do I vend at your event? Well, that's going to be a real easy one. You're going to send an email to customer service@guildsofrequiem.com, or submit a message to one of our pages or to the BantuckyCon Facebook page. If you are going to do an activity presentation for us in any of the STEAM categories, we're not going to charge you because you're helping us make this a better event. So if you're going to go to live, we're going to need to know when, because we got to be on the ball to be able to make sure your video or what your feed goes into the event live. Or, you know, we're going to have to take from where you're streaming live on your personal page on a public post and push it to the BantuckyCon website page. Otherwise, if you want to do an uploaded video or a link to your YouTube video, those are acceptable as well. I don't want a link to Markiplier. I don't want a link to the Dude Dad or to the Try Guys or anybody else, unless you're actually one of those people. And then I'm going to fangirl out, just to let you know. If Bat Dad says, hey, I'm going to give you a video on Steam, I'll fangirl out. Otherwise, it's going to be $20 for one post per day. And this, since this is a week long, that ends up being 7 posts to promote your products or your services or your business or your organization. If you do $30, it's going to be 2 posts per day. So that gives you 14 opportunities. For $50, you can unlimited post, and we will invite you to be a co-host to the event. What that does is it automatically populates this event onto your Facebook page. All proceeds do benefit Space Station Requiem and future BantuckyCons. Medical and sciences. These are our community service departments. Medical is local to the San Antonio area. Excuse me. Sciences is anyone from anywhere can participate. So right now, this is just a future placeholder for future community service opportunities. If you know of any community service opportunities, please email SpaceStationRequiem@guildsofrequiem.com. We would love to become involved. And please put in your subject line, community service opportunity. And that is the end of our slideshow. Hey, I got through it in less than 45 minutes. I did pretty good. Yeah,
you did.
I didn't get
couldn't
off
talk that
track.
much.
Yeah, it's everyone calls it my teacher voice, my presentation voice, because as a teacher, you end up lecturing about 45 minutes to an hour, and then you have another half hour or an hour, or that's the end of the class, and they go on to their next class. So I have learned to be able to get a lot of information into 45 minutes that I can. And I'm right there under the string of it of 45 minutes today. So I did pretty good. I am kind of like a dog that, ooh, squirrel. I get off track really easy. So it's definitely a challenge for me. Some days, other days are better. Sometimes I have a really chatty group that, you know, people are asking questions. You know, if anybody does have any questions about what we have presented today, you are more than welcome to email me. We are streaming live on our YouTube channel, which I'm getting ready to shut off here, so we don't take everybody's time up. Or comment. You know, we're open to them, and you know, we appreciate it. If anybody has got questions on how to do this for their chapter, you know, I've noticed that we got a lot of new chapters, a lot of new COs in Starfleet Command Quadrant 1. If anybody is needing any help, please reach out to me, because I've been doing this for a while. I did USS Joan of Arc out of Starfleet International for almost 10 years as the commanding officer. I was in charge of the cadet course for Starfleet International. And then we switched.
So you've been around the block a time or two.
I have been around the block a time or two, you know, despite being the same age as the fan club. I've been around a while, been doing this a bit. I do run several nonprofit organizations and community-based organizations that if anytime that you're struggling with something, please just, reach out to me, say, hey, can we do a Zoom session? Can you walk me through how to do something? I'll be more than happy